Man versus Slug.
Well, no sooner have I updated the economics of growing your own veg as it's going to be out of date. I've left the garden now for 10 days and we've got loads going on. We've got a great quantity of Swiss chard coming. We've got some kale that's starting to look like we could be eating that. You can probably even see the length of the broad beans from there. They're getting on for sort of 25 centimeters long. Pumpkin, there's no fruit on it yet, but it's shooting up. I can see a pumpkin right at the top there, which hopefully will flower and pollinate soon. And we got loads of the French beans growing as well. Oh, and we've gained a courgette, even though we weren't meant to be planting that. Welcome back to the jungle, and it's getting quite exciting in here. We have our first red tomatoes. Look at them, don't they look beautiful? And I don't know if you can see in the background through there. There is a cucumber. A small haul of tomatoes. There's loads on the plant still, but they're not going red, but these look beautiful. And we have a kilogram, more than a kilogram of runner beans. And then finally, one courgette. So in my continuing battle in this jungle, I've been trying to chop off the suckers, although I've been away for a week or so they're springing back up. But even where I've left like fruit stems like this one with tomatoes on, I find that actually it's developing into a plant still. So it's going to be a continual battle, I think. So now time to get the scissors out and cull some tomatoes. Here's our first cucumber. I have seen bigger. This one's really quite tiny. But there are plenty of other cucumbers starting to form on the plants. I haven't got out in the garden as much as I'd like yet this week. But we can see the French beans have been savaged by slugs. Sad times. That might have to be a score 1 to the slug, I think. Although it hasn't been taking the beans, it's been taking the beans. Still need to do some harvesting on our Swiss chard because that's gone absolutely mad. Harvested one of the courgettes, but hopefully we should get another couple coming off that plant there. And over here, with our pumpkin growing up, we have a female flower that probably will flower in the next day or so. And we will get a pumpkin pretty much where I wanted it, in the plum tree. My wife says I've always got one thing on my mind, but I've been waiting for this pumpkin to flower. This is a female pumpkin. You can see the little pumpkin at the bottom. We've had really bad luck over the years with pumpkins because they haven't been pollinated. And so I am going to make sure this one is pollinated. And round here, we have the male flower. And you can see at the back of the male flower, you probably can't see. There we go. There is nothing by way of a fruit there. So we're going to get a little bit of the pollen from the male flower, the paintbrush. And we're going to be transferring that to the female flower. Oh. So that should be the pumpkin pollinated now. If it isn't pollinated, that pumpkin will drop off after a while, which will be very disappointing for us, but let's hope it is, and then we'll get a decent sized pumpkin up in a plum tree. One of the reasons for our lack of success with pumpkins is normally the male flowers and female flowers flower on alternate days, but we just happen to have a male flower and a female flower on the same plant on the same day. So I'm hoping that will work for pollination. As a backup plan, however, we do also have a male courgette flower down here, and we can cross-pollinate courgette or zucchini, Americans would like to say, with the pumpkin. So I could have used the pollen from that flower. So having spent all that money already, it turns out I hadn't bought winter lettuce, which I was meant to be planting in July. And so I have come to the garden centre again, and the one that Hugh Richards recommends is that one, out of stock. I think we might be giving that one a miss this year. While we couldn't find the lettuce that we were after, we did discover this winter squash, which describes itself as baked potato, and looks really interesting. It's a bit late for planting that this year, but maybe it's something we'll consider next year. I came out here to film the outro, and I found that our other pumpkin is flowering. So I'm going to be pollinating that one now. Let us know in the comments, what do you think? Are we going to have more success this year with pumpkins? And do you manually pollinate your pumpkins, or do you leave the bees to it? And don't forget to like and subscribe, it means a lot to us.